Hello there. Good day to you all. Thank you for joining the session today. Today is the 12th of the virtual SIP, and I remain Abdulatif Aliyu, one of the virtual SIP organizer, and I'll be moderating this session today. I already have the Region 8 Humanitarian Activities Committee representatives here in the room, and they will be telling us about hack. And John currently sent his apologies as he's in transit and is going to join as soon as he have a good connection to connect. But we have here in the room Fairouz and also Mohammed, and they are here. So guys, how are you today? You can say hello to our audience.
Hello, how are you?
Hello, hello Al, how are you? Thanks for inviting us here. Thank you.
Thank you
All
for
right,
joining
so I
us.
think, all right, thank you, Fairouz. And what are you going to start with? I think there was a presentation you were supposed to share with the delegates about the humanitarian activities. And
Yeah,
also, you have the second part to discuss about the humanitarian activities call for proposal and some of the criteria that applicants need to look out for.
yeah,
So,
sure.
all right, that's very good. So, I don't know, you have the floor, so go for it.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Abdulatif. Thank you all for joining us today. So last time we talked together about the initiative that we launched to initiate you how to write good proposals. And normally we wanted a competition, a virtual competition, but unfortunately we didn't receive your submissions so far. I hope that you learn more about from this second session, and with that you can write your proposals next time when Hack and Site send you their call for proposals. So, okay, we are going to say that, for example, if we received some submissions from your side, how we are going to evaluate these proposals, and we are going to mark the good and the worst parts of your writings, and to see together what are the points that you should put and what are the points that you shouldn't mention in your proposals. So now we are going to see together the evaluation criteria and which are the parts that we have to put the accent on to write a good proposal. And let's see together how can we do that. Okay, we're going to see through the presentation here. So the last part that we started in last time, the proposal evaluation criteria, and that time I told you that we are going to see this part in the next workshop together, in our second workshop. So coming together with evaluation criteria. So first thing is how to write a good proposal for site funding. So you have to include proper information of the local community needs of your local community. That's that we are engineers. In engineers, if we apply our knowledge and everything we know in order to like help our undeserved, served, and unserved communities in order to make their lives better through technology. So here we have to include a very proper information about our community, need of community, and what are they suffering from exactly. In here, as you said, that I mentioned the served, the undeserved, and the unserved community, because there are three types of communities. Like you can see that now the United Nations in its goal can be divided into two parts, into three parts. I mean, the parts which is dealing with the served community, which are the developed country already, and they are needs are like concentrated in some particular point that match exactly their needs. And we come to the unserved community, which are the developing country and the unserved country, that they need everything, so they are not alone, and they have nothing in order to go through and in order to live for a decent life. So here we have three communities, as I mentioned. So you have to make sure that you describe your community good parts, which is deserved or undeserved or unserved community. And here you have to include the proper information about their needs. And then your proposal is feasible and specify implementation method and identify tangible plan. So here you have to make a feasible plan. So you are going to apply for something, you are going to apply for fund in order to do something which is feasible. So which is like, it's important to know that thing or this matter can be done in real, okay? And then you have to include a budget with specific details. So you have to make a clear budget with everything you need with the very specific details. And you have to concentrate also on the risk analysis. You have to mention your risk analysis. For example, when I have to work on this project, and when I'm meaning to have a very particular sustainability in my project, I have to make it very good and very particular risk analysis of every risk I can go through. In the meanwhile, I'm working on this project, and that you have to guarantee your project will be sustainable, even though I make some risks in the middle of my path. And then you have to deal with sponsors on the project is an advantage. So if you mention that you have sponsors, you are going to make partnership. And like in the first workshop, we talked about the partnerships with the governmental and non-governmental parts. You have included. It's like plus for you if you include that you have sponsors and you are making partnership in order to go through with your proposal. And now, for your community, for the proposed community you're going to work with, so you have to make a very clear identification of your need, like I said, if it is undeserved or served community, and evidence of the undeserved community support for an expected engagement in the project. So if you are going to expect that your community is going to be engaged with you, so you have to make it clear and you have to be specific and go through evidence that your undeserved communities parts are going to be engaged with you. And you have also to mention a clear description of the expected long-term outcome for the community. So like we talked last workshop, that we have to work with a short-term project. So like a site is with a long-term program, which is, for example, here we are talking about site. So your outcomes have to be expected for long term. We have to work and please market very well. We have to work on the sustainability of the project as the long-term outcomes. And you have to expect the number of people impacted by the project. For example, we are working on a community of 100 people who are suffering from and that point we're suffering from. We have to know the exact number of people who are impacted with the project, and with the exact number of people that we are working on as a deserved or unserved community. And here we have to specify also the project framework. So it has to be credible, project planner, clearly defined and expected project outputs. So everything has to be clear and well defined and well expected. For example, we are expecting that part, we have to make it clear and make it credible that these parts have to be well written and well described and well expected. And also clear description of the technology or technologies to be used and how it will be applied in the local context. For example, to work on, for example, the Internet of Things in order to make this part of undeserved community. For example, or we go through this part of this community with using this technology. We have to make a clear description of the technology, of the methods that we are going to use in order to work on this problem, on this issue. And also we have to make awareness of undeserved of similar initiative And also, how will the local community be trained and supported to maintain the solution implemented? So, like I told you last time, so trainings and knowledge in general is a very particular part in how you make a good proposal. So, for example, your community is going to support you. So the community, this industry community is well implemented in the project. The goal is to make this individual community living in a decent level, for example, and this community is going to support you. So you have to train it. So this local community have to be trained in order to support maintaining the solution implemented and also maintaining the sustainability of your project as well. And dealing with the project budget and timeline. Here you have to clearly define timeline. So here, for example, you are going to work through 1 year or 2 year under this project, and you have to make a very clear and defined timeline in order to secure your project. And also, like I told you, that you have to make a very good risk analysis, including your timeline. For example, you have to expect this parts in 1 month, in 2 months, the next week I'm going to do that, next month I'm going to do that. So you have to be clear here and pertinent in order to secure that your project is going on time, going with the specific days or specific period that you mentioned, in order to be pertinent in your work and also to achieve your goals, because here time is a very critical part in order to guarantee the success of your project. And here also you have to be a realistic and well justified budget, including breakdown of the major items. So your budget has to be very realistic and justified. For example, I need to buy these parts, these items with that amount of money. So here you have to be very specified and realistic in terms of budget, in terms of timeline. So here time and money are the keys. Let me say one of the keys. It's not in general the only keys, because knowledge also is a key, and communicating and the very good communication with your community is a key, and making your community engaged is very important here. But one of the keys to guarantee the success and the sustainability is to well define your project budget and also timeline. Here, working and dealing with the project risk analysis. So what risks may impact on the potential success of the project, including project completion? So here you have to deal with the most important parts that may impact the potential of your success and make reality your for example, achieving your goals. So you have to be pertinent in terms of risks, and in case of certain risks, what are the steps and what are the solutions that you have to implement in order to guarantee the success and the very good potential of your project. So here you have to make sure that you work on a very good risk analysis, and that what steps are being taken, will be taken to mitigate these risks. So what are the solutions here? If I'm asking myself, for example, I'm going to lose a half of my team in the middle of the work. So why I'm going to lose them? And in case I'm losing the team, or in case I'm losing a part of my technology, or in case I'm losing a part of my budget, or in case I'm not going to be pertinent in terms of timeline, what are the solutions, what are the measures I have to take in order to secure that my project will run in a good way and will maintain its sustainability? So here, like I said, it's important to make a plan, and to make a plan A and a plan B and plan C. So you have to secure yourself, secure your team, and after all, you are securing your community, and you are securing your certainly your project here. And this is the most important part, let me say, is sustainability. So what we are working for and what is the goal is to make sustainable and to maintain the sustainability of the project outcomes. So which aspect of the project will continue after site funding has been consumed? So after a time, period, certainly money will be consumed, and the fund which side gave me, this group of people is going to be consumed. So after 1 year, for example, how am I going to maintain the sustainability of the project if I'm losing all the funds? If I'm making these funds, okay, I'm working with the project, and here I consumed all the funding. So what I'm going to put as a plan in order to secure the sustainability after making all the funds, and for example buying and making my necessity, and how can I secure the sustainability after that? You have to ask yourself these questions, and in order to guarantee that you get funds from side and you make the sustainability of the project, you have to answer all these questions, and you have to make plans in order to answer this question and guarantee that you are going to be permanent and going to secure your project in terms of sustainability. And how will continuation and sustainability of project outcomes be achieved? So after making this project timeline, and I reached the goals, how I'm going to make it sustainable in the other generations, and how I'm going to engage more my community in order to guarantee the sustainability of the project outcomes. And also clear description of how the project outcomes will contribute to expected long-term outcomes, including empowering community, improving local conditions. So here, for example, I worked on the plan, or the goals mentioned at the first, and then after that, how can I engage or to empower the community in order to guarantee or to contribute to the long-term outcomes? For example, here I'm reaching my goals, okay, but I am willing to make it sustainable for example, 1 more period. How I'm going to work in order to guarantee this long-term outcomes, and also plan of measure project outcome. The future proposal by the same team will require a report on previous project outcomes. Like I told you last time, is reporting is vital. So in order to secure your vitality and the vitality of your site group, you have to report. After at the end of each year, you have to make reporting, and you have to send your report to site or into HEC in order to guarantee your vitality. And here, reporting is a key also to secure your vitality. So please mark it. We are working on the sustainability to guarantee that we are making long-term outcomes, a long-term project, a long-term plans. So here you have to work on it, and you have to mention, and you have to be conscious that you are working in order to guarantee the sustainability of your project. And here, the project team and partners is very, very, very important that you involve IEEE and non-IEEE volunteers. It's not like maintaining IEEE members only, but you have to work with IEEE and non-IEEE members. You have to make relevant experience, previous track record of side project team applying for funds. So you have to be experiment. And experience here is a key also. So you have to work with experienced people, how they build and how they maintain previous project, previous events, in order to guarantee that you can, at the end, you secure your fund. And also clear explanation of current and all proposed partners. So here, making partnerships is very, very, very important in order to secure, like I said, the sustainability of your project. And it's a plan here. It's a plan B. At a certain type, I'm going to lose the funding. How can I secure the sustainability? It's through partnership. If I'm working on sponsoring and partnerships, they will certainly help me when I lose every month the money I got from funding. So they will secure for me the sustainability through given the sponsoring, and this partnership will help me with experience, with money, with with engaging local community, with empowering local community, with training local community also. And here we are defining some rejection of project. So for example, if some projects are like suffering from rejections, here are some reasons. For example, they provide us with superficial timelines, so no details plan. So like are not concentrating to well present a very pertinent and a very clear timeline. So here it's like a very it's not a very good point. It's something worse that you have like you mentioned, not very good and not detailed plan. And also project seems unsustainable. So here, like I told you, sustainability is like rule number one. So if your project seems unsustainable and you are not like expecting from you and you are not providing that you are going to secure sustainability and you are making plans in order to be sustainable, here it's one of the rejections also. And expected impact is not well articulated. So here, the impacts and the outcomes that your project normally is going to work on is not well articulated, is not well presented, is not well detailed. And also project goals are not properly specified. So here, like you are talking in general about some goals. So you are not specified, you are not mentioning a very, very, very detailed like goal or a very detailed need. You are not very well specified your goals. So here it may be one of the rejection reasons also. In absence of a vital partnership. So here, like you are maybe saying that I'm making accent on the partnerships and the sponsors, they are going to play a very good role in the vitality of your projects and the sustainability of your projects also. And no side group. Okay, what we are doing here? No side group. So firstly, and the first step, like we said, what we saw in the first workshop, that you have to create first your side group. So here you have to be for people who joined us for the first time, how to make sure that you create a side group. You have to be at least IEEE members, and you think together why we want to create the side group. So you have like a very good plan, and what we are expecting from you if you create your side group. What are the projects? What are the parts that you are going to work on? And then you sign and you write your petition. You send your petition to site, and when you get the approval, you start working on your whether the events or the project. So here, the first step, you have to create your site group. Then you can, prepare your funding, your proposal for fund, even for projects or for events. So here we are going to present some guiding principles. So the Millennium Development Goals, they are mentioned here. So, and also the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs. So the United Nations has some sustainable goals. They fixed the sustainable goals, so you can refer to this UN Sustainable Development Goals. The development goals fixed by the United Nations in order to, for example, no poverty. Here, the first goal is to secure no poverty. Or, for example, the second one is zero hunger. So you are going, folks, for example, you are living in undeserved community or in served community with suffering from hunger. So you are going to focus on this part. You are going to work on or the second goal of the United Nations. So these goals are going to help you in order to reach out the sustainable goals that everyone in this world wants to secure them. For example, clean water and sanitation. So many countries are suffering from the lack of, for example, the lack of a clean water and sanitation. So here you can play a role in order to make this goal sustainable, and this goal is a very critical one, for these undeserved communities. So, and work until you no longer have to introduce yourself. So here, working is everything. Hard working is everything. And to make your work sustainable, here sustainability is a key word in all the site, in all the HEC. So work hard until you no longer have to introduce yourself, and empower your community, empower the group of people you are living with, and try to make them living in a decent level. And we are here to help you in order to reach your goals. And thank you very much. Thank you very much for your attention, and hope that I gave you a brief description of the criteria, the evaluation criteria, in order to guarantee the successful of your proposals. And like always, like we mentioned always, we are here to help you in order to well write your proposal. And thank you very much.
All right, Fairouz, thank you very much for that presentation, and that was well taken. And for those of us that are just joining, if you have questions, please feel free to use the Ask the Question tab to send in your questions, and we'll be able to take that. Coincidentally, I'm also one of the members of the ACT team. Well, before I give you some background about some of the projects that were awarded, successful project for COVID-19 call, I would like Mohammed to say something to back up the information we've gotten from Fairouz.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ghaderzadeh, for inviting me. Thank you, Fairouz, for your informative and very good detailed presentation about how we can write a good proposal to introduce our project and sustainable project for our local community. Thank you. This is Mohammed Ghaderzadeh, and also member of IEEE Humanitarian Activity. I would like to share some experience about our submitted projects in 2020 during this pandemic, and a special call for this year. And as you know, we had a special case for COVID-19, and IEEE Humanitarian Activity call for proposal for this issue. And we received the hack about 100 proposals, and also the hack accepted 24 proposal for funding. And among these projects, some project is very magnificent from Region 8, and I will share you some project and detail about some project with you from I want to share my screen now. Let me share my screen to show you what I mean and what I talk about with you. Okay, Abdulatif.
Okay, just hold on. You can share. I think John is already trying to connect. But before that, I've sent the invitation. I hope he's able to join us on the screen. You can continue, try to share your screen, and once John comes, he can proceed with the discussion.
Okay, thank you. If John joined us, we can change the session.
Yeah, John is here.
John is here now. Okay, let's, sir.
John, welcome.
Thank you.
We can't really see your face. I know you are on transit, and you try to connect despite all that. So welcome. We've been discussing about humanitarian activities committee projects, and Fairouz just concluded about those critical things that they need to watch out for in a project. Oh, we lost John again. So Mohammed, we'll wait for John to have a very, very stable connection, then we'll connect back to John. Okay.
I'm on a meeting.
Okay, John.
Hello, I can hear
yes,
you.
John. So you can just update us about the projects that were awarded within the region, COVID-19 project, and also if you have any message for the delegates.
All right.
Can you hear me?
I can actually hear John, but I can see the footage. John, we can hear you. Hello, John. Can you work on the audio? We can hear you, but we can see your picture. Hello, John. I think there's a technical problem there. John, we can hear you. Try to unmute yourself so that people can hear you, but we can see your picture. Hello, John. We can't hear you, but we can see you. Try to unmute yourself. Okay. We'll allow John to unmute, then we'll connect back to him. Mohammed?
Yeah?
Okay, before John, let's try to make sure that John connection is fixed and is able to talk to us. But right now we can see him, but we can't hear him. So you can go ahead, Mohammed.
Okay, thank you so much. Can you see me? Because I don't see my screen now in this session.
Okay, we
John,
can see you. Let's
okay.
try to see if John, John, can you?
John is muted, yeah, you know?
Yes, John is muted and I'm trying to unmute him. It's like there's a problem. John, can you hear us? If you can hear us, please try to unmute yourself and okay, no problem. Mohammed, go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. I want to know and I want to share some statistic with our great IEEE members around the region. As you know, if you want to be part of IEEE, that you don't need to pay anything or pay any membership cost. And during the statistics of IEEE site report, in the past 3 years, from 2017 to 2020, we drastically increased our site members, and consequently, this caused our groups created during these years, these past 3 years, increased to from 12 to 31, and our project proposal received growing to the 74 during the year, and our funded project growing to 21. And it's a very, I think it's a very good news that due to this increase, our funding in the humanitarian activities and inside in general increased to 134,000 in the 2019, and in this year, I think with this special case in the coronavirus, we increased this amount to much bigger, because as you know, if we have many requests and site can poses many and increase the funding for your projects. And as I mentioned, the first of a session, we received about 100 projects in the IEEE site, and 24 projects accepted to funding during this special call. And it's very nice to inform you, 19 projects is from Rejection. And me and John, and also Abdulatif and Fairouz, do some live with our project manager in the region. Firstly, from Uganda with Vincent Olma and Esbo Baron, and also with the David and Kai Goodall. It's a project manager from South Africa, and also with the John Funso, our chair from Nigeria. This is our 3 live that we hold in the August for our project. Let me clarify about some point in this project. We had a project in Uganda. INPIP Refugee Settlement Camp COVID-19 Compact Response Project. In this
Hello,
project,
Mohammed, sorry for me to interject. I think John is back with us, and I don't know if we can hear him. John, can you hear us now? Can you say something?
Hello, sir.
Hello, John. Can you say something so that we can hear you? Okay. We can still hear John, and it's not muted. And okay, so you are not muted.
Hello,
and
can
we
you hear me?
Yes, excellent. We can hear you
Yeah,
now.
excellent. Thank you.
Yes, we can hear you now. John, welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. Can you see my face?
We're trying to. You need to
No.
get.
Okay, since you can hear me.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
since you can hear me, let me just buttress on what Mohammed and Fairouz have said. They have
Yes.
spoken so well, and I want to apologize for entering late. We lost one of the founding fathers of the IEEE Nigerian section, and that is why I'm in transit from Abuja to Rivers State. So I landed just like 5 minutes ago, and because the burial is tomorrow, and I'll be back in Abuja tomorrow. So his name is Engineer Oluye. He's one of the founding fathers of the IEEE in Nigeria section. So by and large, I want to commend the SYP for going virtual, and that is why we're live in our locations. Now, what basically we do in Region 8 is we unify all the humanitarian activities and appear as a team. So whatever we are all doing in our various sections, we'll report them to the Region 8 for proper coordination. And basically, we were not trained to do this. Alex Ozana is a founder of the Humanitarian Region 8 group, and Mohammed, Fairouz, Abdulatif, Mufti, and Walid, and Maria. I'm trying to remember others. We're so many. We decided to train ourselves on how to appear better as a team for humanitarian activities for the Region 8. And we've been doing this now for a few years back, and we're happy that we're making progress during this pandemic. And like Mohammed rightly said, we have a list of projects that were done as intervention in these sections in the Region 8. And Fairouz already presented why do you need to write proper grants to secure the
I think we lost
fund.
this one.
Can make a special request to the headquarters to assist in opening one or two before the year runs out, if possible. Otherwise, you look at January 2021. So it's my pleasure once again to be part of this discussion. Let me allow Mohammed to continue. Maybe I can say one or two things at the end of the day. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, John. We're happy that at least you are even able to join us, and this is very, very good. And Mohammed will talk about the project, and I can also have some few comments, and we can take the questions and we can. We still have a few more minutes, about 10 minutes, so we can wrap up this session. So, Mohammed, you can conclude.
Thank you so much, Sir John, and please accept my condolence too. As I mentioned, we received some great project. Let me shortly, in 1 or 2 minutes, conclude this session with our project and our future plan for the IEEE humanitarian activities as a committee in the region. we received some good project in Uganda to compact the one refugee camp from the Vincent Olma. It's a one role model that's have a good proposal and also have a good result for us in IEEE Region 8. And another sustainable, as Fairouz mentioned, when you want to say and write your proposal for one sustainable project, if you don't mention clearly and very strongly your idea, you cannot found your project and accept your project. Because if not only it's important to have a sustainable idea, it's important to write a very good proposal. And me and Fairouz wants to organize some webinar also during the next month from the November for you to teach you and learn you from the other IEEE mentor to how you can write a good proposal in technical points that you needed to follow in the good proposal. And from these two projects, we have another project from the South of Africa by Kai Goodall and David, IEEE South Africa section chair. In this project, they invent and they fabricate one tools to prevent the spread of COVID-19. And this tool produced by about 2,500 case for the South African members and South Africa IEEE members and sites group, locally sites group. And in this tool, it's a very effective, and you can use it to prevent to touch the local area door and handle, and you can use it to carry your bag in your crash bag, and also something like that you can use. And this is we have about 19 projects, and it's just 2 projects that I mentioned here, and you can contact me through the site at IEEE R8.org, or maybe Ghaderzadeh at IEEE.org to share with you our project and detail with you. And let me conclude this session. Please be with us and be connected with us from our Instagram, our Facebook, and our email that I will write it in the chat room, the right side of your screen. We want to organize some webinar for you from our pioneer in the world for humanitarian activities and humanitarian project. As you know, IEEE flag is advanced technology for humanity, and it's important for us to share the idea from our IEEE number with you, and you can use it in your project, and you can use it to empower your local site group. And I think this is important for us to let you have a equal condition around the region and also in general around the world, because we live in the global village and we are a human being, and we need to help together to create a better future for the human being, and also for our planet that's in danger for increasing the temperature in these decades. And we need to use our experience and our power to let know our people and our local people to know about that, and teach them and learn them and inform them about the future consequence of this condition and this endanger. Thank you so much, Abdul Latif. I'm with you. I think we have some question, and me and Fairouz can ask this question now. I answer this question now.
Okay, Mohammed, thank you very much, and thank you, Fairouz. And we have about 5 minutes to end this session. So we have some couple of questions, but before that, I would still want to add that during the call for the COVID proposal, about 16 projects were funded, and countries that include South Africa, Nigeria, Uganda, Tunisia, some of the beneficiaries of this funding. So we would like to urge all other countries, Kenya, Tanzania, Ghana, please do send your proposals. And if you need any help about fine-tuning them, you can reach out to us through our social media handle, via our email, and we are happy to support you to get these things corrected. So let's take the questions. I think the first question is, as you know, majority of the project meets unexpected difficulties, that's challenges. Definitely all projects do have challenges, and so require readjustments. So cost and duration in terms of timeline, etc. So what is the procedure for adjustment? This more like a project management question, in the sense that you do have the timeline and deadline that you cannot meet. I don't know, Mohammed or Fairouz, would you want to attend, or you want me to provide the response?
Okay, Fairouz, let's.
Yeah. Okay. Normally, if you didn't get funds from the first, I mean, when you write your proposal and you get rejection through based on the lack, like you said, of for example, adjustment of the cost or the timeline, normally you have to write another proposal from the beginning with adjusting these points, and you include the corrected parts of, for example, if you didn't work about a very good timeline or very good risk analysis, you have to adjust that part, and you send again your proposal in the next call for proposal. Normally, this is a solution from my side.
All right.
Yeah, I'm agree with Fairouz, and they can adjust his or her projects, and again send us for next call for proposal. I think it's a normal way to adjust your project.
Okay, let me just add that, you know, the proposal are submitted online, and you have the option to duplicate the proposal and modify and also resend it. So all modification is done within your profile that you apply for, and also the modifications and adjustment can be done and you resend. So this online profile are specific to individuals. So we still have about 2 minutes. So the last question here is possible to transfer a project from one group to another and from one area to another? That is it possible, you know, to transfer a already approved proposal from a location that it was approved for to another locations, and also transfer the funding?
What do you mean, for example, about the location? Is they
Okay,
mean
I think what
an area or a community or what?
Yes, for a community that already have approval for a proposal to be implemented, etc., maybe in Tunis, and a small community in Tunis, and the project was approved for funding, etc., can you transfer that project to another location, totally different from where the approval was gotten?
Normally, no.
Yeah, you need to follow the. Yeah, it's not an authority from the founder of this project, and after he or she allowed this, I think it can be possible. But we need to follow the rule of the copyright for the founder of this project, I think.
Okay, I think I will also want to add that for a project that was successfully implemented in a location, you can as well duplicate that project in another location. But for you to transfer the funding that was approved for
funding. Yeah, that's it. No, you can't. Normally.
You can't do that.
Because
in terms of funding, you can transfer, but in terms of duplicating the proposal, it can be done. That's it. No?
Okay. All right then. So I think we've already addressed all the questions, and we are already at the top of the hour. I would just want to ask just 30 seconds. What are your remarks and your parting words for the delegates, so that before we end the session, let me start with Mohammed. Just
okay. I write our email in the chat room. Please have it and please contact us. And be happy to have this discussion here. And I'm looking forward to you and your comments about our activity in our social media, Facebook and Instagram. Thank you so much.
okay, Fairouz.
Thank you very much, first for the SYP organizers for inviting us and providing with the activities and the keys in order to secure funding. Thank you very much for the IEEE Originate and the site groups members for their hard working and their progress, because we are increasing day after day, and we are increasing our potential and work, and we are looking forward to receiving your questions, your remarks, and any kind of support. We are here to support you and to provide every kind of help you are needing in order to success your project and your events. And let us work together in order to spread humanitarian activities and increase awareness in all originate and in any kind of community we are living with. And thank you.
All right, thank you, Fairouz. Please do that quickly. We're already at the top of the hour.
As a Fairouz mentioned, I would like to thank all VSYP organizers, and please stay tuned with us in the social media. We have a great plan, humanitarian activity for you, for some very great webinar from our prestigious speaker around the world. Thank you so much, Abdulatif. Thank you, Fairouz.
All right, thank you all for joining, and we want to condole with the Nigerian section for losing one of the founders, and our prayers are with the family and the entire IEEE Nigerian section community. And thank you, John, for finding time despite your transit to join us. So on this point, feel free to join the Ukraine section presentation, which is going to be next. And thank you all for joining, and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.